In today's take, I want to talk about the Los Angeles Clippers versus the Dallas Mavericks, and I'll be giving you my post-game reaction. And before we get into that, though, please like, subscribe, also hit the notification bell, just so you can get the newest and the bonus content first. We put out content every day, so you won't miss any content here. Now, let's just go ahead and jump right into this. Well, you could say it's a big game from Paul George. Definitely had 29 points. This was a good win for the Clippers. Zubac stepped in really good, and Reggie Jackson played. He played pretty decent as well. He had 23 points. And looking at this game here, of course the Clippers won, but it was definitely a lot closer than what I thought it should have been, especially down there at the end. I feel like the Clippers should have beaten a team like this by double digits, but a win is a win. You take it how you can get it, and you don't complain. So you have to look at it that way. Hopefully the Clippers can start back on a winning streak and get back into their winning ways. These last couple games that they played have not been very well. But here again, this is another home game for the Clippers. So I'm glad they play good at home, but they're going to have to find a way to do this on the road and be consistent on the road. Because if you're not going to be that on the road, then you're going to get beat by a lot of teams you're not supposed to, and your record is not going to be that good, and you're just going to be a Jekyll and Hyde team up and down. And the Clippers don't want to be an up and down team, because now that there's a play-in tournament, that can definitely put them in a category like that. And we all saw what happened last year. A lot of us probably thought the Warriors were going to make the playoffs, and then they ended up getting beat by Memphis, and that was the end of that story. And that's not something that you want to happen to the Clippers, and that's not how you want the story to end for the Clippers. But the Clippers are going to have to be a lot better and show a lot more fight, integrity, and grit. And Paul George is going to have to be more efficient and a lot better of a player on the road, rather than just being good or playing good at home with the crowd behind you, because that's not going to help them get anywhere they want to. And like I said, the schedule is going to get tougher. Big win, though. I mean, they got it over the Mavericks, even though they didn't have Luka Doncic. Porzingis has actually been playing a lot better, so shout out to him and the rest of the crew. So has Tim Hardaway Jr. They all, Dallas plays collective as a team, and Jason Kidd will definitely have them right, or have them a lot better by the end of the season. So, hopefully the Clippers don't have to run into them again in the playoffs, because it's definitely going to be a lot tougher this time, I think, especially the way Porzingis is starting to flow with the offense, and they're starting to get a lot more contributions out of him. That's all they probably really need to actually, to make a run or do a lot better in the playoffs than what they have been doing the last couple years against the Clippers. So definitely a big win for them. But, another test against them again. The Clippers play them, I believe, tomorrow or the day after. So it's definitely going to be another test against the Mavericks again. So you're definitely going to get the Mavericks' best punch the next game. So I need the Clippers to be able to mimic what they did this game and find a way just to pull out the victory. I am proud of Zubac, though, getting 16 points, big points from him. Paul George made a couple splash plays, had a dunk on Dwight Powell. They kind of got the crowd going. Paul George got got the crowd going, got himself hype as well with the crowd, with some big shots that he was making. He made some big shots. I think he scored like the last 6 or 8 points in the fourth quarter, which was really huge by Paul George, especially when you don't really expect to, the game to be that close. But I mean, hey, when it is, you need your best players on there to step up and be the best players and show out for a reason. And he did. He played well down the stretch, and I have to give him credit. But definitely it's going to need to be a lot more of this continual for the Clippers. They still have the same issues I said, efficiency, and falling asleep on defense at times, and that helps them, that attains to them losing the teams that they shouldn't. So I mean, the Clippers are going to have to find a way to make things better going forward, and I think they will. So we'll see how it goes. But hey, like I said, shout out to the Clippers. They made the necessary plays when they need to, and they came out as the team on top. But they're going to have to build on top of this. They're going to have to be more consistent, more efficient, and they're going to have to find a way to, show more, display better defense at times to knock teams out, give them the knockout punch before teams, find a way to drift back into games and climb their way back and possibly beat the Clippers down the stretch of games. So the Clippers defense is going to have to tighten up a little bit. The offensive efficiency can definitely tighten up. I mean, but you can say that about every team. Every team has improvements or need improvements or have improvements to make. And the Clippers are one of those teams. But right now they're 10-7, 3 games above 500, which is, not bad. definitely not where they, hope they would be, but definitely not in a bad position. So I think they're still like 5th or 6th seed in the West. So, I mean, that's pretty much predominantly where a lot of people probably rank them, where they would probably be at the end of the season. But hopefully, the Clippers can make a run and go a little bit higher up. And, definitely Kawhi and the crew will come back and make a run in the playoffs. Shout out to Serge Ibaka, though. He's back, and that definitely boosting their confidence a lot, too. So, like I said, big win for the Clippers, shout out to the Mavericks. They played hard, but just not hard enough. And the Clippers were able to prevail. And like I said, moving on to the next. But hey, that's my take on everything. Leave any comments in the comment section as always. And hey, Khaliis out.